Hi, I'm OliverAge24 and you're watching Game Dev Corner. Subscribe for more videos about making and marketing indie video games. Today I'm going to share with you the top 10 mistakes that I made when I first started developing games. So let's get started. 1. Being afraid to show people my early games. When I first started making games, I could tell that my games were hot trash, so I was really selective about who I showed them to and how much I showed them. Everyone has to start somewhere though, so you might as well start getting feedback. That's the best way to get better and stop producing hot trash. Number 2. Worrying people might copy my ideas. Something that you come to realise with making games is the idea behind the game itself is usually worthless, and it's actually the way you implement it and bring it to life that adds the value. You could have 10 different development teams and give them all the same idea, and by the end of it you'd have 10 totally different games. Plus, if you don't discuss your ideas, you won't get any feedback, so it might be harder to improve them. 3. Not starting with simple projects. Nobody's dream game is to recreate Noughts and Crosses, or Asteroid, or Hangman. No offense. But if you start with a really ambitious project without knowing the basics, you're probably going to get really stuck, and you might get discouraged from game development altogether. 4. Feature creep. I kept wanting to add more and more to my early games, so much so that I rarely finished them. You have to be strict with yourself and figure out what is the minimum viable product and then make that first before you start adding things that make it more complicated. 5. Assuming that every single game I started working on would end up being a full commercial release. I eventually came to realise that there are 2 different types of projects: commitment projects and experimental projects. Experiments are the ones where you don't set out to make a full game. You try to answer a specific problem or to test if an idea is worth turning into a commitment project. Now, commitment projects are the ones that you actually intend to finish, or commit to, if you will. My mistake was starting every project as if it was a commitment project, which led to mistake number 6. 6. Feeling bad or guilty about cancelling projects or ending them to work on something else. I always felt like it was failing, which I always thought was really negative. In reality, your successes are shaped by your failures, and each one is just a learning experience. It sounds cliche, but it's true. 7. Wanting to make a perfect game. This is something that people in all mediums struggle with. You can keep working on a game forever, so it's super important to know when and how to finish a game. 8. Believe it or not, you can't make a game just by mashing together code that you find on the internet. I'd start working on a game and then I'd Google each of the systems and mechanics I wanted to add, and because there's so many resources and examples available, it's really easy to find it, copy and paste it into your project, and then spend ages being really confused as to why it doesn't work together. 9. Wanting to go it alone and learn every single area of game development myself. You come to realise that every different area is a speciality in and of itself. You can't be good at everything. I found that I actually do my best work in small teams. Now obviously that brings its own problems as well, but I found that the pros outweigh the cons. 10. I spent years wanting to make games but putting it off and not getting started. I kept assuming that it would be really difficult, so I kept putting it off and procrastinating. The secret to that is to just get started. It's overwhelming and there is a lot to learn, but if you don't get started, you'll never get to where you want to go. And that's it, 10 mistakes I made when I first started developing games. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please subscribe and turn on notifications to find out about the next one. If you have any questions or your own tips and advice, or you just want to give your opinion on the things I spoke about, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching, bye!